It's time for our top fives this week, our different top fives. This one, we're going right back to the NBA with the MVP candidates, or could you say ladder, as people like to call it. I've seen Nick Wright likes Luca Doncic. I've seen the NBA likes to see Nicola Jokic. I personally like LeBron James, but is he number one? Let's find out. I'm going from 5 to 1, starting with my honorable mentions. Joel Embiid and Trae Young get an honorable vice golf clap because that's like the third vice golf clap I've done. I gotta stop doing that. Embiid has been really good this year, but he now has James Harden, and to me that chops off about half of his points. If I'm grading them, sorry Embiid, you got a running mate. Sorry. Trae Young, along with Luca Doncic, the only players that are averaging 27 points a game and still in the top 5 in assists. Trae Young is 6th in points per game, and I believe 3rd in assists. Pretty good year for Trae Young. And Hawks are 35 and 36. They're still in the 10th seed, which will get them in the play-in tournament, but not good enough. Right. With that being said, number 5, Devin Booker. Now, why is Devin Booker, who's not averaging a bunch of points? Because on the best team in the NBA, he has been the most consistent player. He has not been hurt like Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. He's just been there winning games for his team. Even has stepped up in some clutch moments. So I have to give Devin Booker a little bit of votes here. Number 4, controversially, is LeBron James. Why is this controversial? Because the Lakers are barely in the play-in tournaments. But LeBron James, I'm not going to get into the fact that he's 37 because I don't think that matters in an MVP debate. I don't care about the storylines behind it. The fact is, Lakers are terrible. And without AD and with Russ up and down this year, LeBron James is holding this team afloat, scoring 50 twice, scoring 38 in the back-to-back games. Now he leads the NBA in scoring. I'm one of the top efficiency guys. I dig it for LeBron. Number 3, Nicola Jokic. Why so low? Nuggets have fallen to 6th place. They're barely hanging on to that Western Conference. So Jokic is doing really good, but he's just not contributing to as good as the front 2 guys. Number 2, Giannis. Giannis is quietly having an MVP type season. I think if anybody's going to finish 2nd in voting but not win it, it might be Giannis. But number 1, Luca Doncic. Luca, his running mate has been what? Spencer Dinwiddie. First it was Kristaps Porzingis. He's got Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway. But let's be real. That team is Luca Doncic. And Luca's been incredible. I think Luca's the MVP for me. Thoughts on that?
I can dig that. I'm not looking at the standings right now, but I can definitely dig that that Luca has been able to carry a team. They are a playoff team, correct?
They are 5th right now. 2 games ahead of the Nuggets.
I can dig that. Ultimately, of the guys that you said, I think ultimately the Devin Booker has a realistic shot at winning MVP. He may not.
I haven't won a bet, actually.
Nice. I like that. I mean, I think that statistically, sometimes it's the best player on the best team, and
right.
Chris Paul's been a little in and out, and who's the big guy? Ayton. Thank you. Like you said, consistency is key, and I think the world would burn if they gave it to LeBron. But you're right. In terms of valuable, it's got to be LeBron. I mean, I've always said LeBron, in terms of value to a team, he wins the MVP every year, but it would get boring and people would stop watching the NBA. That's why other guys have won MVP, especially like Russell Westbrook, because he averaged a triple-double, yes, but he necessarily wasn't the MVP in that necessarily season. But, I kind of like the Devin Booker pick there.
I think Booker deserves – I mean, if it was just based on value alone, which is what it's supposed to be, it would be Luka, LeBron, and Booker. Because those guys have had nobody around them all year.
Yeah, I also think that it should just be the MOP, the most outstanding player.
Which is what we've said on the show.
Because like you said, valuable is just not the right word. I know, but not MVP anymore. Sounds sexy, absolutely. But
yeah, go ahead. Hart Trophy.
All right, it's time for my MVP candidates, aka the Hart Trophy. I'll start with my honorable mentions as well here. Jets forward Kyle Connor was an honorable mention for me. He's got 77 points, albeit for a team that right now is not in the playoffs. So honorable mention Kyle Connor, and then Nazem Kadri Arguably, with Nathan McKinnon in and out of the lineup, has been he and Rantanen have been the best players on Colorado, which is surprising because a lot of times people just think of Nazem Kadri as a thug on the ice, and he's quietly having an incredible season. So they're going to be my honorable mentions here, but I'm going to go 5-1 here with my Hart Trophy candidates. Number 5, Austin Matthews, 80 points this year. Going to put up a 50 piece in terms of goals, so that's pretty incredible. He gets aided by Toronto media and Toronto fans who are a little bit delusional. But for me, Austin Matthews makes the number 5 spot here. Number 4, Kirill Kaprizov. He may not find him in any of the high statistical categories, but the Russian lefty is just making the Wild one of those Moneyball teams. I like to call them the Moneyball team of the NHL because they just don't seem to have a lot of guys that you're like marketable, you love, he's sexy, you want to go buy their jersey, but they just win. I mean, now they have Marc-Andre Fleury. I understand that, but if you're marketing your backup goalie as your prized possession there, then you got bigger fish to fry. But Kirill Kaprizov went from almost not even playing in the NHL this year to number 4 on my Hart Trophy list. Number 3, Cody will love this. Johnny Cadreau is the winger for the Calgary Flames. Going to put up some good numbers this year. He's got 80 points right now so far. I don't know if he'll ultimately end up even being close to winning it, but for me right now, Calgary fans and the league has been waiting for Johnny Cadreau to have a resurgent season, and this just seems to be it. They've obviously been benefited by the Pacific just being complete ass, but Johnny Cadreau is resurging his career at the right time because I think he's due to get paid here very soon. So very good for him. He makes number 2, of course, Connor McDavid, leading the league in points. Oh, no big deal. 91 points this year. It's funny to say this. Leon Draisaitl is number 2 in points, who is also on his team. Didn't make my top 5 just because he gets so overshadowed by Connor McDavid. It's not a disrespect to Leon Draisaitl, but it's Connor McDavid number 2 here. He just seems to every year just do it all, and he's actually scoring more goals than expected average this year. So good for Connor McDavid there. And number 1, this one might shock a few people. Guy doesn't talk much, not one of the stars of the league in terms of faces, but for me, it's got my number 1 team, or actually my number 2 team, the Florida Panthers. Their leading scorer, Jonathan Huberdeau, is my number 1 candidate.
Huberdeau?
Exactly. My number 1 candidate there for, most valuable player. Now, is he doing all the flashy things? No, he's only got 21 goals this year, but he's facilitating, he's dishing, he's leading this team. I know Barkov's the captain, but he's just been absolutely incredible this year. So for right now, in terms of the Hart Trophy, I love Huberdeau, especially if this team could maybe even potentially win a President's Trophy here.
We're a big Panthers team, apparently, because Aaron keeps us that way. Good job, Aaron. I like it.
You got to give love to the Panthers. They've lived in a period of mediocrity and irrelevance for 15, 20 years. So, you got to shout out the Panthers whenever you can.
Shout out the big kitty cats. So Luca and Huberdeau. There you go. How about that?
There you go.
I love Top 5 Tuesdays, man.
Yep, unorthodox MVPs, Huberdeau and Luca. Let's go. I'm going to go put a bet on Huberdeau, see what I can get him at. I think right now his odds are 10-1, according to thegameday.com.
Bad.
Courtesy of Caesars. The odds are courtesy of
They win
Caesars.
the President's Trophy. That's pretty good, right? That's the NBA 1 seed, right?
Yeah, it's the number 1. It's the most points, in the regular season.
Right. Okay, cool. Or in the East or in the NHL?
It's in the most points in the NHL.
Oh, that'd be good. 10-1. Grab it.